Tuesday, the 2nd of August 2011, day 10 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Right, it is 7:30 in the morning, and I'm just about to set off from the church at Cross Crake. Yeah, the Church of St Thomas, where I slept overnight in the porch. So I was up for just after 6:15, having set the alarm on the mobile, and had a quick drink, quick wash, put all my stuff together, and for the last 10 minutes I've been taking photos of the outside of the church, including all its lovely flowers that it has at the front. Right, it's a grey start, at least it's dry, but it's damp. There's hardly any wind, and I take it the wind's still coming from the northwest. So I've got less than 30 miles to do today to get to Sladeburn. I'll be there for 5 o'clock, and then I shall have an easy evening in preparation for the last 210 miles back to Corby. Right, so this is file 1. I've already logged file 1 of day 10. I've already logged quite a few birds this morning. There's been we've had a coal tit, we've had great spotted woodpecker, we've had 7 jackdaws flying over. There's the usual house sparrows, swallows, coal tit, and dannock, wren, robin, and that's about it. Tuesday, the 2nd of August 2011, day 10 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. File 2 of the day. It's almost 9:30 in the morning, and for the last hour it's been incessant rain. All I've done is about 4.5 miles, and I'm now on the B road for Kirkby Lonsdale. So all I've been doing is taking my time, walking some of the steep hills that I've had. Hasn't been that many, and just resting every now and again under a tree when the rain gets quite bad. So I've actually had some thunderstorms here, and this rain looks like it's on for at least the morning. So it's a good job I've only got another 20 plus miles to do for Sladeburn, for a 5 o'clock finish. And from the bridge over the river here, I've just seen a dipper. So that's the first dipper seen while I've been out on this cycling tour, and I've almost done 16 miles now. So I'm basically 2 or 3 miles now away from really starting to hit the hills of Bowland, and then I'll have a tough climb over one of its tops and then down into Sladeburn. Also heard a nuthatch here as well. So this is file 3 of the Lake District Cycle Tour, day 10. Tuesday, the 2nd of August 2011, and day 10 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. It's 13:40, and I've covered 19.2 miles. It's setting out, taking it quite easy, but I've still got quite a few hills to encounter. And I'm just coming into the edge of Bowland now, and I'm getting distant views. Well, it's not distant, it's quite close views of Ingleborough, although it's covered in cloud, plus also adjacent to hilltops as well. And I think in the distance Pennygent can just be made out. Let's see, a raven's been heard, a couple of buzzards been heard, a great spotted woodpecker's been heard. That's all been in the last so many tens of minutes. And generally the usual willow warbler and chiff-chaff, and nothing untoward. Occasionally we have long-tailed tits and birds like that, but not today yet. The weather's a lot improved since this morning. It's cloudy, more cloudy than overcast, but no direct sunshine coming through. Quite dry now. Tuesday, the 2nd of August 2011, day 10 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. File number 5. It's just leaving 10 to 4 in the afternoon, and I've done 24.2 miles. I reckon I've only got about 6 miles to do, maybe even a bit less, and I should be at Sladeburn, the youth hostel. Right, I'm at the top of the pass, this pass of Bowland, get from one side to the other. I can see Stocks Reservoir from here, and it looks quite close, but I'm sure it's a good 5 miles away. 5 to 6 to Sladeburn, and on the other side I'm getting really good views of Ingleborough, Whernside, and the other mountains to the west of them. I can just see into southern Lakeland. Probably not as good as what it was 10 minutes ago, because we're begin to get a little bit of a dark clouding coming over, so quite a bit of the sunlight's been restricted. Right, so waiting till the van goes by. Right, bird-wise, it's been interesting coming up here. There's been at least 2 curlew identified, been 1 raven, a couple of larks or pipits, which must have been skylarks. I was hoping that they might have been tree pipits, because there are some woods around here, but I don't think this is an area for tree pipits, but I can check up on it. Obviously the usual meadow pipits, and there was a small flock of about 10 starlings went through. We had the odd lesser blackback gull fly over. I've kept an eye out for hen harriers, but nothing like that has been seen. And some swallows as well. And I think there was a small party of about 6 red grouse. Yes, and so that's about tallies it up. So I'm going to get my photos now, have a quick bite to eat, then it's on down to the youth hostel. Tuesday the 2nd of August 2011, day 10 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. Right, this is file number 6, I believe. Alright, it's about 20 to 10 in the evening, and I got into Sladeburn at about 20 past 5. Before booking in, I went straight to the shop to get some provisions and spent £5 on some very good items. So subsequent to that, I've booked in, had a good shower, wash, tended to my sore feet, which I'll do again before retiring to bed, and then I proceeded to do a bit of maintenance work on the bike, had a pizza, and then after that I cooked up the provisions that I had bought, i.e. things like pies, beef burger and what have you, for provisions for the next couple of days. I also had another meal of eggs, beef burgers and potatoes, so I'm well fed up. I think before retiring I'll probably have a drink of hot chocolate. Pretty tough going today, and because I was wet, it certainly didn't do my feet any good, but I think my feet will be okay for tomorrow. So, and I've managed to get all my wettish clothes into the dry room. That should make quite a bit of a difference tomorrow. No hen harriers seen today, but at least up to about a dozen red grouse were seen. A couple of curlews were about, the usual raven, and some interesting larks and pipits, although it might have just been skylarks and meadow pipits. Right, signing out. Wednesday the 3rd of August 2011, day 11 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Right, it's 10 o'clock, I've been cycling for an hour. I had a good morning at the youth hostel, getting prepared. I ate very well last night, and so I feel quite good this morning, and most of my little lakes and scars have healed up. It's very warm. My cycle computer's saying 24 degrees, so it's probably more like 19 or 20, and it's very sunny and does feel quite warm. Yeah, sunny and dry. Right, so I've done 4.4 miles since setting out. I need to do an average of around about 6 miles an hour through the day for 10 hours, and that'll put me above schedule. Right, I've seen a short-eared owl and a kestrel this morning, besides good numbers of blue tits, goldfinch, meadow pipits, swallows, etc. Right, time to move on. Right, it's midday, and I'm around an area called Barley, so I'm hitting the proper Yorkshire valleys around this area, this basic area of Burnley, right underneath Pendle Hill, and all I've managed to do is 12.3 miles, so I'm way behind schedule because I've come across some steep hills. Right, so I think this is probably how it's going to be for a little while now, so I'll just plod on and try and get as much done for the day. Right, less sunshine about now, a bit more cloudy. Yeah, it's only a little touch of blue sky here and there and more cloudy, but still quite pleasant and very dry. Wednesday, 3rd of August 2011, day 11 of the Lake Cycle Tour. File 3. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's quite clammy. It's part cloudy, part sunny, definitely dry. Could do with a bit of a freshening, but honest. On my way to Hebden Bridge, almost 25 miles done for the day. Just had to encounter quite a few steep hills, but now it's a bit of a downhill, and I'm at the main reservoir on this moor before I get to Hebden Bridge. Seeing 2 buzzards being pursued by up to 4 curlew, maybe because they had young about. Also stone chats being seen, so that's pretty good. The usual meadow pipits are about, and had the kestrel. Seen the kestrel in hovering in flight quite close up. So I must soldier on, try to claw some of these miles back that I've lost today. It'd be nice to end up doing 60, but that'll be impossible now. Thursday, the 4th of August 2011, day 12 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. File 1. Right, I've been on the road for an hour, and I'm on the road to Delft. It's 10:30 and I've covered 7.5 miles. So I've done fairly good mileage coming down off Saddleworth. A lot of it, quite a fair bit of it was downhill. But the weather this morning has been atrocious. Took me ages to get ready. Yeah, get the bike ready. I had to do a little bit of mechanical work on it, just light work, and I left the tent to last to take down. And basically it's been drizzle, mist, some heavy rain all morning. It should improve hopefully as this morning goes on. Passed by one of the many reservoirs up here, and there was about 100 Canada geese in this one reservoir. Alright, so it's more or less time to keep on moving, and got light rain coming down at the moment. Thursday, the 4th of August 2011, day 12 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Right, I think this is file 2 of the day. It's just after 3 o'clock, and all I've clocked up to now is 24 miles. And I've just stayed in Glossop for about 40 minutes and had a sit-down fish and chip meal with a coffee, which I really needed. And now I'm just starting the climb for Snake Pass. So I've probably got a good 2 miles to go before I reach the top, and then it's all plain sailing down into the Derwent Valley. But I've got this real hard 2 miles to negotiate, so it's going to be at least an hour, and then easier times after that, and I can clock up the mileage. Once I get around to the Hathersedge area, then I feel like with 2 days to go, I'm sort of like beginning to get near home. Right, that'll do. Thursday, the 4th of August 2011, day 12 of the Lakes Cycle Tour. File 3 of the day. Right, it's just after 4 o'clock, and I'm at the top of Snake Pass. I cycled most of it except for about 500 yards, which I pushed the bike up. Quite grueling, took an hour as thought, but it's another exhaustive hour that's passed by. But now it should all be downhill, so that's 26.5 miles done. Only note of interest was hearing a red grouse on the way up, and that was about it. It's quite misty up here with fine drizzle. No breaks in the clouds or nothing. It'll be interesting to see how the weather shapes up as I lose height and begin to descend a little bit more into the southeast. Right, time to move on after I've taken some photos. Thursday, the 4th of August 2011, day 12 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Right, it's about 10 past 10 in the evening. I've set up camp just outside Rowsley. So I've done pretty good time. I'll have to check up on my mileage. It's probably somewhere around about the 57-mile mark for the day, which is okay. Since getting around into the, and certainly the Derwent reservoirs, and coming all through the Derwent Valley, the weather today has been really nice, in complete contrast to the way the weather was yesterday evening, and all through this morning, and early to mid-afternoon. Photos were taken from surprise view, which was a little bit difficult because of the direction of the sun. Birding wise, it's been pretty quiet today. Only started to take notice of a bird song later in the day when the weather improved. Birds were largely absent. The only birds species that comes to mind is 3 flocks of long-tailed tits. So they were probably numbering altogether about 30 plus. Friday the 5th of August 2011, day 13 of the Lake Cycle Tour. It's 9:30 and I'm just about to set off on the outskirts of Rowsley. I'm going to head for Matlock. I'm going to go through that area. Should be all downhill from the River Derwent. It's a dry, mild morning with very amounts of sunshine and cloud. I spent a bit of time cleaning up the bike and adjusting one or two parts of it, and so with file 1 now underway for this 13th day, I shall be heading off. Friday, the 5th of August 2011, day 13 of the Lake Cycle Tour. This is file 2 of the day, and it is currently almost 12:20, and I've covered almost 15 miles, which is basically bang on schedule. And the weather is still very nice, mild to warm, must be touching on at a height of 20 degrees C, and it's dry and sunny. There is a nice little bit of a cooling breeze. Nothing of note to add, except for it was nice running through the area of Bath. I stopped at the train stations, the private one and the British Rail one, and at Matlock Bath I also took quite a few photos and had a mini fish chip and pea meal for £3, which is really good value. I'm at a place called Ingridhay on my way south, getting closer to home. Foul 3 of the day. Right, it's 14:45 and I've done almost 26 miles, so nearly on schedule, and I'm just approaching a place called Sutton on the Hill, and right this minute I've got a buzzard in view. That'll be the 3rd buzzard today. Weather's nice, not so hot now. About an hour ago it was really hot, but seemed to have a little bit of a cooling breeze. Right, I'm in South Derbyshire, feels more like Leicestershire, and it's lovely cycling country around here. Small roads, old hedges, lots of trees, and better birding than what there has been previously in the previous days, so that's pretty good. So nothing to add. I need to get some water, and within about 3 or 4 miles I think I'll be going through a fairly large, well, not large, but I'll be going through a town, so I'll be able to pick up some water at least as I move on in the direction of Corby. Right, it must be approaching almost 10 o'clock in the evening. I'm snug in the tent again. I've camped out in a pretty good field, right on the edge of a place called Boylston. So I think I must be in Leicestershire now. And I'm over the Trent. And it was quite good today, coming down through South Derbyshire and into Leicestershire. I found it a little bit difficult finding somewhere to camp. I was hoping to probably bed down for not long after 7:30, but I had to wait until 8:30 before I found the place. So consequently, I've done 62.5 miles, I think, today. So that's pushing me even nearer to Corby. And it can't be more than 40 miles. It might even be as little as 35, but I'll check that out on the map tomorrow. So highlights today, or since my last file on the voice recorder, this being obviously the last one of day 13. The field where I camped out, there's a pair of kestrels. So I just wonder if they have a family. And yeah, some strange things today. Well, a couple of strange things. Well, definitely one. There was about 3 curlews went over when I was still in South Derbyshire. So that was quite a surprise. And heard the first yellowhammer down this way. It's ages since I've heard it. I think the last yellowhammers I were hearing were even before the lakes. So that's a bit of an eye-opener. Saturday the 6th of August 2011, day 14 of the Lakes Cycle Tour, File 1. Right, it is almost 10 to 9 in the morning, and I've upped camp, as they say, and I'm all waiting ready for the off. There shouldn't be more than 40 miles to do today to get back to Corby. So I'm just on the outskirts of Barlstone, heading for Mallory Park, and then the southern area of Leicester, which will lead me around to the Kibworth area, and then the run in from the Welland Valley. So it should be okay. So I feel pretty good. I could be home in pretty good time today. The weather's grey. There's a hint of rain in the air. Otherwise, from that though, it's fine. Just feels a little bit cooler today than yesterday. Saturday, the 6th of August 2011, day 14 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Alright, it's just coming up to 10 o'clock. This is file number 2, and I've been at Mallory Park now for about 40 minutes. I've taken some photos of some sort of motorcycle race that is going on, and then I've come to the cafe to have a nice breakfast for $3.50. This weather is still overcast with a hint of rain in the air, and I think after having a good meal, it's time for me to move on. Saturday, the 6th of August 2011, day 14 of the Lake Cycle Tour. Right, it's almost 10 to 12 in the morning, and I'm over the M1 near Ashby Magna. I've done 15.5 miles. I've probably got about just over 20 to go. Just had something to eat, a pasty and a banana and something to drink. I've got plenty of water at the moment, and I'm just watching this crazy scene of everybody juggling about in the lanes on this motorway. And from up here it looks very dangerous and scary. Anyway, the weather at the moment, great at the moment. It's okay, it's dry, but it's certainly damper and cooler than what it was yesterday. There's definitely some rain in the air. Yeah, a bit more of a wind has picked up, cooling wind. And I think it's other southerly, southwesterly nature. Right, time to move on. This has been File 3. Saturday, the 6th of August 2011, 14th day of the Lake Cycle Ride. It's just after 3:15. I've just completed 40.3 miles today, and that's me back home in the shed area just before I'm going to put my gear away. Well, it ended up being a real hard slog to get up the hill at Middleton and Cottingham. because the weather's turned quite nice, quite humid and quite warm. Must be at least around about 20 degrees. Right, that's it. That's why I'll probably do a closing file.